Hi, good morning. It's day 6 of my 100 days of posting meditations on Facebook. And today I've been thinking a lot about the executive branch of the brain and how the executive branch, if it's not recognizing where its decisions are coming from, it could make a bad or a wrong decision. So I use meditation as a practice to help slow down the decisions that are coming from other parts of the brain so I can look at them. And what this means is if, for example, you're in a fight, flight, or freeze, there's a sudden threat to your life or limb, you're using the reptilian part of your brain, the survival part of your brain, and it goes into reaction of the fight, flight, or freeze. But if you're not careful, you could make a very wrong decision just using that part of the brain. For example, I live in the Northwest, and if I go up into the mountains, I might run into a cougar or a bear. And both of those encounters could be life-threatening and could send me into fight, flight, or freeze. But those two different situations, the cougar and the bear, require very different reactions and responses from me. So the cougar requires me to stand tall and get aggressive and actually stare him in the face and try and be bigger than it. The bear, on the other hand, requires me to be very still and quiet and to quietly step away. And that's why I need my meditation practice. So when I get into a moment that feels threatening, whether it's a true life or limb threat or not, I need to be able to figure out how to pause. And it's the same when you're with someone else who might be using their reptilian brain to make decisions, is to not get caught up in their way of reacting. Still, you need to stay in your aware, awake, and thoughtful place of responding. Now, of course, other decisions that are not life-threatening really should first pass through the heart and get your heart's decision on it. And then you kind of think about it in its whole place in maybe a decision you're making for your future. And then you can take right action from there. So let's just go into our practice together for a couple of minutes so that we can drop down into a place of rest and calm. And you can use my nature scene behind you too, behind me, to rest in. And it's just letting your mind drop down to the natural rhythm of your own breath. One breath at a time. Knowing that most things that you make decisions about are not an immediate threat. You can drop down into this soft space of maybe even the space between the in-breath and the out-breath. Again, thanks for joining me. If you have any thoughts or comments, I certainly welcome those. And thanks for dropping in to yourself and sharing it with others. I'll see you tomorrow.